मॉड्यूल में सेक्शन से प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस को चलिए कर लेते हैं। फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन, फ्लोरिडियन स्टार्च हैज़ a structure similar to। जी हाँ, फ्लोरिडियन स्टार्च हैज़ a structure similar to amylopectin and glycogen। जी हाँ, फ्लोरिडियन स्टार्च हैज़ a structure similar to amylopectin and glycogen। Question second, which of the following pairs is of unicellular algae? जी हाँ, chlorella and spirulina is pairs of unicellular algae। जी हाँ, chlorella and spirulina is pairs of unicellular algae। Question third, strobili or cones are found in। जी हाँ, स्ट्रॉबेरी और कोन्स आर फाउंड इन इक्वेशेटम। जी हाँ, स्ट्रॉबेरी और कोन्स आर फाउंड इन इक्वेशेटम। Question 4, the plant parts which consist of two generations, one within the other is। जी हाँ, the plants part which consist of two generations, one within the other is pollen grains inside the anther and embryo sac inside the ovule। जी हाँ, the plants part which consist of two generations, one within the other is pollen grains inside the anther and embryo sac inside the ovule। Question 5, male and female gametophytes do not have an independent free living existence in। जी हाँ, मेल एंड फीमेल गैमेटोफाइट्स डू नॉट हैव एन इंडिपेंडेंट फ्री लिविंग एक्जिस्टेंस इन एंजियोस्पर्म्स। जी हाँ, मेल एंड फीमेल गैमेटोफाइट्स डू नॉट हैव एन इंडिपेंडेंट फ्री लिविंग एक्जिस्टेंस इन एंजियोस्पर्म्स। क्वेश्चन 6, phycoerythrin is a major pigment in। जी हाँ, phycoerythrin is the major pigment in red algae। जी हाँ, phycoerythrin is the major pigment in red algae। Question 7, which of the following statement is incorrect about gymnosperms? Options are, their sheaths are not covered, male and female gametophytes are free living, most of them have narrow lips with thick cuticle। जी हाँ, incorrect about gymnosperm is male and female gametophytes are free living। Question 8, from evolutionary point of view, retention of the female gametophyte with developing a young embryo on the parent sporophyte for some time is first observed in। जी हाँ, from evolutionary point of view, retention of the female gametophyte with developing a young embryo on the parent sporophyte for some time is first observed in pteridophytes। जी हाँ, from evolutionary point of view, retention of the female gametophyte with developing a young embryo on the parent sporophyte for some time is first observed in pteridophytes। Question 9. Which one is wrongly matched? बाइफ्लैजलेट जूस्पर्स का मैचिंग ब्राउन अलगे से, यूनिसेलुलर ऑर्गेनिज्म की मैचिंग क्लोरेला से, जेमाकॉप्स की मैचिंग मार्केंशिया से, एंड यूनिफ्लैजलेट गैमेट्स की मैचिंग पॉलीसाइफोनिया से। जी हाँ, wrongly matched इज यूनिफ्लैजलेट गैमेट्स का मैचिंग पॉलीसाइफोनिया से। क्वेश्चन 10. Winged pollen grains are present in? जी हाँ, winged pollen grains are present in Pinus. जी हाँ, winged pollen grains are present in Pinus. जी हाँ, winged pollen grains are present in Pinus. Question 11. Which of the following statement is correct? जी हाँ, ovules are not enclosed by ovary wall in gymnosperm is correct statement. जी हाँ, ovules are not enclosed by ovary wall in gymnosperm is correct statement. Question 12. Select the mismatch. साइकस का मैचिंग डायोसियस से, सैल्विनिया की मैचिंग हेट्रोएस्पोरस से, इक्वेशटम की मैचिंग होमोएस्पोरस से, और पाइनस की मैचिंग डायोसियस से। जी हाँ, पाइनस की मैचिंग डायोसियस से मिसमैच्ड है। क्वेश्चन 13. एन एग्जाम्पल ऑफ colonial alga is? जी हाँ, एन एग्जाम्पल ऑफ colonial alga is Volvox. जी हाँ, एन एग्जाम्पल ऑफ colonial alga is Volvox. Question 14. Life cycle of Ectocarpus and Fucus respectively are? जी हाँ, life cycle of Ectocarpus is haplodiploidic and life cycle of Fucus is diploidic. जी हाँ, life cycle of Ectocarpus is haplodiploidic and life cycle of Fucus is diploidic. Question 15. Conifers are adapted to tolerate extreme environmental conditions because of? जी हाँ, conifers are adapted to tolerate extreme environmental conditions because of thick cuticle. जी हाँ, conifers are adapted to tolerate extreme environmental conditions because of thick cuticle. Question 16. Which of the following statement is wrong? Options are: algae increases the level of dissolved oxygen in the immediate environment. Agar-agar is obtained from Gelidium and Gracilaria. Agar-agar is obtained from Gelidium and Gracilaria. Laminaria and Sargassum is used as food. Laminaria and Sargassum is used as food. And last, algin is obtained from red algae and carrageenan from brown algae. जी हाँ, wrong statement is algin is obtained from red algae and carrageenan from brown algae. Question 17. Select the correct statement. जी हाँ, Sequoia is one of the tallest trees is correct statement. जी हाँ, Sequoia is one of the tallest trees is correct statement. Question 18. Which one is a wrong statement? Options are brown algae have chlorophyll A and C and fucoxanthin. Options are brown algae have chlorophyll A and C and fucoxanthin. Option second. Archegonia are found in bryophytes, pteridophytes and gymnosperms. Option second. Archegonia are found in bryophytes, pteridophytes and gymnosperms. Option fourth. Haploid endosperm is a typical feature of gymnosperms. Option fourth. Haploid endosperm is a typical feature of gymnosperms. And the last one is Mucor has biflagellate zoospores. जी हाँ, wrong statement is Mucor has biflagellate zoospores. Question 19. Read the following statement 5 statement A to E and select the option with all correct statement. जी हाँ, statement A. Mosses and lichens are the first organism to colonize a bare rock. Correct है. जी हाँ, statement A. Mosses and lichens are the first organism to colonize a bare rock. Correct है. Statement next. Main plant body in bryophytes is gametophytic, whereas in pteridophytes it is sporophytic. भी correct है. जी हाँ. Statement next. Main plant body in bryophytes is gametophytic, whereas in pteridophytes it is sporophytic. भी correct है. जी हाँ. In gymnosperms, male and female gametophytes are present within sporangia located on sporophyte. भी correct है. In gymnosperms, male and female gametophytes are present within sporangia located on sporophyte. भी correct है. Question 20. In which of the following gametophyte is not independent free living? Options are Funaria, Markensia, Paterish, Pinus. जी हाँ, Pinus gametophyte is not independent free living. जी हाँ, Pinus gametophyte is not independent free living. Question 21. Which one of the following statement is wrong? Options are allicin and carrageen are products of algae. Options are allicin and carrageen are products of algae. Agar agar is obtained from Gelidium and Gracilaria. Agar agar is obtained from Gelidium and Gracilaria. Chlorella and spirulina are used as a space food. Chlorella and spirulina are used as a space food. And last is mannitol is a stored food in rhodophyceae. जी हाँ, wrong statement is mannitol is stored in rhodophyceae. Question 22. Male gametes are flagellated in. जी हाँ, male gametes are flagellated in ectocarpus. जी हाँ, male gametes are flagellated in ectocarpus. Question 23. Which of the following is responsible for peat formation? जी हाँ, sphagnum is responsible for peat formation. जी हाँ, sphagnum is responsible for peat formation. Question 24. Male gametophyte with the least number of cells is present in. जी हाँ, male gametophyte with the least number of cells is present in lilium. जी हाँ, male gametophyte with the least number of cells is present in lilium. Question 24. Male gametophyte with the least number of cells is present in. जी हाँ, male gametophyte with the least number of cells is present in lilium. जी हाँ, male gametophyte with the least number of cells is present in lilium. Question 25. Which one of the following shows isogamy with non-flagellated gametes? जी हाँ, Spirogyra shows isogamy with non-flagellated gametes. जी हाँ, Spirogyra shows isogamy with non-flagellated gametes. Question 26. Select the wrong statement. First statement is an isogametes differ either in structure, function, or behavior. First statement is an isogametes differ either in structure, function, or behavior. Second option, Chlamydomonas exhibit both isogamy and anisogamy and Fuchs shows oogamy. Second option, Chlamydomonas exhibit both isogamy and anisogamy and Fuchs shows oogamy. Third option, isogametes are similar in structure, function and behavior. Third option, isogametes are similar in structure, function and behavior. And the last option in oomacytes, female gamete is smaller and motile, while male gamete is larger and non-motile. जी हाँ, wrong statement is in oomacytes, female gamete is smaller and motile, while male gamete is larger and non-motile. Question 27. Monoecious plant of Kara shows occurrence of. जी हाँ, monoecious plant of Kara shows occurrence of upper Oogonium and lower antheridium on the shame plant. जी हाँ, monoecious plant of Kara shows occurrence of upper Ogonium and lower antheridium on the shame plant. Question 28. Read the following statement A to E and answer the question which follows them. And यह भी बताइए कि how many of the above statements are correct. Question 29. Which one of the following pairs is wrongly matched? जिंकगो का मैचिंग आर्किगोनिया से, जिंकगो का मैचिंग आर्किगोनिया से, वायरॉइड्स की मैचिंग आरएनए से, वायरॉइड्स की मैचिंग आरएनए से, मस्टर्ड मैचिंग सिनर्जेड्स से, मस्टर्ड मैचिंग सिनर्जेड्स से, एंड लास्ट वन साल्वेनिया की मैचिंग प्रोथैलस से. जी हाँ, रॉन्ग मैचिंग इज साल्वेनिया प्रोथैलस. Question 30. Gymnosperms are also called softwood spermatophytes because they lack. जी हाँ, gymnosperms are also called softwood spermatophytes because they lack xylem fibers. जी हाँ, gymnosperms are also called softwood spermatophytes because they lack xylem fibers. Question 31. Which one of the following is common to multicellular fungi, filamentous algae, and Protonema of mosses? जी हाँ, multiplication by fragmentation is common to multicellular fungi, filamentous algae, and Protonema of mosses. जी हाँ, multiplication by fragmentation is common to multicellular fungi, filamentous algae, and Protonema of mosses. Question 32. Cycas and Endiantum resemble each other in having. जी हाँ, Cycas and Endiantum resemble each other in having motile sperms. जी हाँ, Cycas and Endiantum resemble each other in having motile sperms. Question 33. Which one of the following is a correct statement? जी हाँ, origin of shed habit can be traced in pteridophytes is a correct statement. जी हाँ, origin of shed habit can be traced in pteridophytes is a correct statement. Question 34. Read the following 5 statements A to E and answer as asked next to them. How many of the above statements are correct? Question 35. Selaginella and Salvinia are considered to represent a significant step toward evolution of shed habit because. जी हाँ, Selaginella and Salvinia are considered to represent a significant step toward evolution of shed habit because embryo develops in a female gametophyte which is retained on parent sporophytes. जी हाँ, Selaginella and Salvinia are considered to represent a significant step toward evolution of shed habit because embryo develops in a female gametophyte which is retained on parent sporophytes. Question 36. Examine the figure given below and select the right option giving all the four parts A, B, C, D correctly identified. जी हाँ, ए आर्किगोनियोफोर है, बी फीमेल थैलस है, सी जेम्मा कॉप है और डी राइजोइड्स है। जी हाँ, ए आर्किगोनियोफोर है, बी फीमेल थैलस है, सी जेम्मा कॉप है और डी राइजोइड्स है। Question 37. Consider the following four statements whether they are correct or wrong. Question 38. Archigoniophore is present in जी हाँ, आर्किगोनियोफोर इज present in Markensia. जी हाँ, आर्किगोनियोफोर इज present in Markensia. Question 39. The gametophyte is not an independent, free, living generation in जी हाँ, the gametophyte is not an independent, free, living generation in Pinus. जी हाँ, the gametophyte is not an independent, free, living generation in Pinus. Question 40. Compared with the gametophytes of the bryophytes, the gametophytes of vascular plants tend to be जी हाँ, compared with the gametophytes of bryophytes and gametophytes of vascular plants tend to be smaller and to have smaller sex organs. जी हाँ, compared with the gametophytes of bryophytes and gametophytes of vascular plants tend to be smaller and to have smaller sex organs. Question 41. Which one of the following is monoecious? जी हाँ, Pinus is monoecious. जी हाँ, Pinus is monoecious. जी हाँ, Pinus is monoecious. Question 42. Male and female gametophytes are independent and free living in जी हाँ, male and female gametophytes are independent and free living in sphagnum. जी हाँ, मेल एंड फीमेल gametophytes are independent and free living in sphagnum. Question 43. Examine the figure A, B, C, and D. In which one of the four options all the items A, B, C, and D are correct? क्या आपके माइंड में स्लेजिनेला का फिगर आ रहा है? इक्विसेटम की, साल्वेनिया की, जिंकगो की? Question 44. Which one of the following plants is monoecious? जी हाँ, Pinus is monoecious. जी हाँ, Pinus is monoecious. Question 45. Which one of the following has a haplontic life cycle? जी हाँ, ओस्टिलैगो हैज़ हैप्लोन्टिक लाइफ साइकिल। जी हाँ, ओस्टिलैगो हैज़ हैप्लोन्टिक लाइफ साइकिल। Question 46. Phylogenetic system of classification is based on। जी हाँ, phylogenetic system of classification is based on evolutionary relationships। जी हाँ, phylogenetic system of classification is based on evolutionary relationships। Question 47. Mannitol is the stored food in। जी हाँ, mannitol is the stored food in fucus। जी हाँ, mannitol is the stored food in fucus। Question 48. Which one of the following is considered important in the development of seed habit? जी हाँ, heterospore is considered important in the development of seed habit। जी हाँ, heterospore is considered important in the development of seed habit। Question 49. Select one of the following of important features distinguishing Xenatum from Cycas and Pinus and showing affinities with angiosperms। जी हाँ, important features distinguishing Xenatum from Cycas and Pinus and showing affinities with angiosperms is presence of vessel element and absence of archegonia। जी हाँ, important features distinguishing Xenatum from Cycas and Pinus and showing affinities with angiosperms is presence of vessel element and absence of archegonia। Question 50. Which one of the following is heterosporous? जी हाँ, Salvinia is heterosporous। जी हाँ, Salvinia is heterosporous। Question 51. In which one of the following male and female gametophytes do not have free living independent existence? जी हाँ, Citrus, male and female gametophyte do not have free living independent existence। जी हाँ, Citrus, male and female gametophyte do not have free living independent existence। Question 52. In the prothallus of vascular cryptogam, the anthrazoids and eggs mature at different times. As a result, जी हाँ, in the prothallus of vascular cryptogam, the anthrazoids and eggs mature at different times. As a result, self-fertilization is prevented। जी हाँ, in the prothallus of vascular cryptogam, the anthrazoids and eggs mature at different times. As a result, self-fertilization is prevented। Question 53. If you asked to classify the various algae into distinct groups, which of the following characters you should choose? जी हाँ, if you are asked to classify the various algae into distinct groups, you should to choose types of pigments present in the cell. जी हाँ, if you are asked to classify the various algae into distinct groups, you should to choose types of pigments present in the cell. Question 54. Flagellated male gametes are present in all the three of which one of the following sets? जी हाँ, flagellated male gametes are present in all, that is Rexia, Diapteris and Cycas. जी हाँ, flagellated male gametes are present in all, that is Rexia, Diapteris and Cycas. Question 55. In gymnosperms, the pollen chamber represents. जी हाँ, in gymnosperms, the pollen chamber represents a cavity in the ovule in which pollen grains are stored after fertilization. जी हाँ, in gymnosperms, the pollen chamber represents a cavity in the ovule in which pollen grains are stored after fertilization. Question 56. Spore dissemination in some liverworts is aided by. जी हाँ, spore dissemination in some liverworts is aided by elasters. जी हाँ, spore dissemination in some liverworts is aided by elasters. Question 57. Moss peat is used as packing material for sending flowers and live plants to distant places because. जी हाँ, moss peat is used as a packing material for sending flowers and live plants to distant places because it is hygroscopic. जी हाँ, moss peat is used as a packing material for sending flowers and live plants to distant places because it is hygroscopic. Question 58. Conifers differ from grasses in the. जी हाँ, conifers differ from grasses in the formation of endosperm before fertilization. जी हाँ, conifers differ from grasses in the formation of endosperm before fertilization. Question 59. In a moss, the sporophyte. जी हाँ, in a mosses, the sporophyte is partially parasitic on the gametophyte. जी हाँ, in a mosses, the sporophyte is partially parasitic on the gametophyte. Question 60. Match items in column 1 with those in column 2. पेरीट्राइकस फ्लैजेलेशन की मैचिंग किससे होगी? जी हाँ, पेरीट्राइकस फ्लैजेलेशन की मैचिंग थर्ड यानी कि एस्चेरिया कोलाई से होगी। जी हाँ, पेरीट्राइकस फ्लैजेलेशन की मैचिंग थर्ड यानी कि एस्चेरिया कोलाई से होगी। लिविंग फोसिल्स की मैचिंग किससे होगी? जी हाँ, लिविंग फोसिल्स की मैचिंग जिंकगो से होगी। जी हाँ, लिविंग फॉसिल्स की मैचिंग जिंकगो से होगी। राइजोफोर की मैचिंग जी हाँ, राइजोफोर की मैचिंग सिलाजिनेला से होगा। जी हाँ, राइजोफोर की मैचिंग सिलाजिनेला से होगा। स्मॉलेस्ट फ्लावरिंग प्लांट की मैचिंग जी हाँ, स्मॉलेस्ट फ्लावरिंग प्लांट की मैचिंग उल्फिया से होगा। जी हाँ, स्मॉलेस्ट फ्लावरिंग प्लांट की मैचिंग उल्फिया से होगा। लार्जेस्ट पेरेनियल अलगा की मैचिंग किससे होगा? जी हाँ, लार्जेस्ट पेरेनियल अलगा की मैचिंग सेकेंड यानी कि मैक्रोसाइट्स से होगा। जी हाँ, लार्जेस्ट पेरेनियल अलगा की मैचिंग सेकेंड यानी कि मैक्रोसाइट्स से होगा। क्वेश्चन 61 टॉप शेप्ड मल्टीसिलिएट मेल gametes and the mature seed which bear only one embryo with two cotyledons are characteristic feature of जी हाँ, टॉप शेप्ड मल्टीसिलिएट मेल gametes and the mature seed which bear only one embryo with two cotyledons are characteristic feature of cycads। जी हाँ, टॉप शेप्ड मल्टीसिलिएट male gametes and the mature seed which bear only one embryo with two cotyledons are characteristic feature of cycads। Question 62 a system of classification in which a large number of traits are considered is जी हाँ, a system of classification in which a large number of traits are considered is natural system। जी हाँ, a system of classification in which a large number of traits are considered is natural system। Question 63 phylogenetic classification is one which is based on जी हाँ, phylogenetic classification is one which is based on common evolutionary descents। जी हाँ, phylogenetic classification is one which is based on common evolutionary descents। Question 64 phonetic classification is based on जी हाँ, phonetic classification is based on observable characteristic of existing organisms। जी हाँ, phonetic classification is based on observable characteristic of existing organisms। Question 65 which one of the following is wrongly matched? Options are nostoc water blooms, sargassum chlorophyll C, basidiomycetes puffballs, and last Spirogyra motile gametes। जी हाँ, स्पाइरोगाइरा मोटाइल गैमेट्स का रॉन्ग मैचिंग है। क्वेश्चन 66 इन क्लोरोफाइसी द मोड ऑफ सेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन इज जी हाँ, इन क्लोरोफाइसी द मोड ऑफ सेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन इज आइसोगेमी एंड आइसोगेमी ऊगेमी मतलब कि सारे ऑल ऑफ दीज। जी हाँ, इन क्लोरोफाइसी द मोड ऑफ सेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन इज आइसोगेमी एंड आइसोगेमी ऊगेमी मतलब कि सारे ऑल ऑफ दीज। क्वेश्चन 67 एन alga as the source of protein is? जी हाँ, an alga as the source of protein is chlorella. जी हाँ, an alga as the source of protein is chlorella. Question 68. Eulothrix can be described as? जी हाँ, eulothrix can be described as a filamentous alga with flagellated reproductive stages. जी हाँ, eulothrix can be described as a filamentous alga with flagellated reproductive stages. Question 69. Sexual reproduction in Spirogyra is an advanced feature because it shows? जी हाँ, sexual reproduction in Spirogyra is an advanced feature because it shows physiological differentiated sex organs. जी हाँ, sexual reproduction in Spirogyra is an advanced feature because it shows physiological differentiated sex organs. Question 70. The pyrenoids are made up of? जी हाँ, the pyrenoids are made up of proteinaceous center and a starchy sheath. जी हाँ, the pyrenoids are made up of proteinaceous center and a starchy sheath. Question 71. Brown algae is characterized by the presence of? जी हाँ, brown algae is characterized by the presence of fucoxanthin. जी हाँ, brown algae is characterized by the presence of fucoxanthin. Question 72. Eulothrix filamentous produce? जी हाँ, eulothrix filaments produce isogametes. जी हाँ, eulothrix filaments produce isogametes. Question 73. The plant body is thalloid in? जी हाँ, plant body is thalloid in Markenshire. जी हाँ, plant body is thalloid in Markenshire. Question 74. In bryophytes? जी हाँ, in bryophytes, sporophytes are dependent upon gametophytes. जी हाँ, in bryophytes, sporophytes are dependent upon gametophytes. Question 75. Which of the following plant kingdom is called amphibians? जी हाँ, bryophyte plant kingdom is called amphibians. जी हाँ, bryophyte plant kingdom is called amphibians. Question 76. Bryophytes can be separated from alga because they? जी हाँ, bryophytes can be separated from algae because they possess archegonia. जी हाँ, bryophytes can be separated from algae because they possess archegonia. Question 77. Bryophytes are dependent on water because? जी हाँ, bryophytes are dependent on water because the sperms can easily reach up to egg in the archegonium. जी हाँ, bryophytes are dependent on water because the sperms can easily reach up to egg in the archegonium. Question 78. Bryophytes comprise. जी हाँ, bryophytes comprise a small sporophyte phase and generally parasitic on gametophyte. जी हाँ, bryophytes comprise a small sporophyte phase and generally parasitic on gametophyte. Question 79. The antherizoids of Funaria are. जी हाँ, the antherizoids of Funaria are biciliated. जी हाँ, the antherizoids of Funaria are biciliated. Question 80. The plant body of moss, that is Funaria, is. जी हाँ, the plant body of moss यानी कि Funaria is predominantly gametophyte with sporophyte. जी हाँ, the plant body of moss यानी कि Funaria is predominantly gametophyte with sporophyte. Question 21. Which of the following is true about bryophytes? जी हाँ, true about bryophytes is that is they are thalloid, poses archegonia, they contain chloroplast. मतलब all of these मतलब सारे true हैं about bryophytes. Question 82. Multicellular branched rhizoids and leafy gametophytes are the characteristic of. जी हाँ, multicellular branched rhizoids and leafy gametophytes are characteristic of some. जी हाँ, some bryophytes. जी हाँ, multicellular branched rhizoids and leafy gametophytes are characteristic of some. जी हाँ, some bryophytes. Question 83. Elater for spore dispersal mechanism is exhibited by. जी हाँ, elater for spore dispersal mechanism is exhibited by Markensia. जी हाँ, elater for spore dispersal mechanism is exhibited by Markensia. Question 84. Dichotomous branching is found in. जी हाँ, dichotomous branching is found in liverworts. जी हाँ, dichotomous branching is found in liverworts. Question 85. The walking form is so named because. जी हाँ, the walking fern is so named because it propagates vegetatively by its leaf tips. जी हाँ, the walking fern is so named because it propagates vegetatively by its leaf tips. Question 86. In which of the following would you place the plants having vascular tissue lacking sheds? जी हाँ, pteridophytes would you place the plants having vascular tissue lacking sheds? जी हाँ, pteridophytes would you place the plants having vascular tissue lacking sheds? Question 87. Which aquatic fern performs nitrogen fixation? जी हाँ, अजोला फर्न परफॉर्म्स नाइट्रोजन fixation. जी हाँ, अजोला फर्न परफॉर्म्स नाइट्रोजन fixation. Question 88. Plant reproducing by spores such as mosses and ferns are grouped under the general term. जी हाँ, plants reproducing by spores such as mosses or ferns are grouped under the general term cryptogams. जी हाँ, plants reproducing by spores such as mosses or ferns are grouped under the general term cryptogams. Question 89. Which one of the following is a vascular cryptogam? जी हाँ, equisetum is a vascular cryptogam. जी हाँ, equisetum is a vascular cryptogam. Question 90. Heterospory and seed habit are often exhibited by a plant possessing. जी हाँ, heterospory and seed habit are often exhibited by a plant possessing ligule. जी हाँ, heterospory and seed habit are often exhibited by a plant possessing ligule. Question 91. What is common in all the three Funaria, Dryopteris and Ginkgo? जी हाँ, presence of Archegonia in all the three, that is Funaria, Dryopteris and Ginkgo is common. जी हाँ, presence of Archegonia in all the three, that is Funaria, Dryopteris and Ginkgo is common. Question 92. In Pinus, the wing of the seed develops from. जी हाँ, in Pinus, the wing of the seed develops from ovuliferous scale. जी हाँ, in Pinus, the wing of the seed develops from ovuliferous scale. Question 93. Which one of the following statements about cycus is incorrect? Options are: it has circinate venation, its roots contain blue-green alga, it does not have well-organized female flower, and last, its xylem is mainly composed of xylem vessels. जी हाँ, incorrect statement about cycus is its xylem is mainly composed of xylem vessel. Question 94. Largest sperms in the plants world are found in. जी हाँ, largest sperms in the plants world are found in cycus. जी हाँ, largest sperms in the plants world are found in cycus. Question 95. Transfusion tissue is present in the leaves of. जी हाँ, transfusion tissue is present in the leaves of both Pinus and Cycas. जी हाँ, transfusion tissue is present in the leaves of both Pinus and Cycus. Question 96. The endosperm of gymnosperm is जी हाँ, the endosperm of gymnosperm is haploid. जी हाँ, the endosperm of gymnosperm is haploid. जी हाँ, the endosperm of gymnosperm is haploid. Question 97. Plant group with largest ovule, largest tree and largest gametes is जी हाँ, plant group with largest ovule, largest tree and largest gametes is gymnosperm. जी हाँ, plant group with largest ovule, largest tree and largest gametes is gymnosperm. Question 98. Which of the following plants produce seeds but not flowers? जी हाँ, पाइनस प्लांट्स प्रोड्यूस seeds but not flowers. जी हाँ, पाइनस प्लांट्स प्रोड्यूस seeds but not flowers. Question 99. Cycas have two cotyledons but not included in angiosperms because of जी हाँ, cycas have two cotyledons but not included in angiosperm because of naked ovules. जी हाँ, cycas have two cotyledons but not included in angiosperm because of naked ovules. Question 10. Which one of the following is a living fossil? जी हाँ, cycas is a living fossil. जी हाँ, cycas is a living fossil. Question 101. Which of the following is without exception in angiosperms? जी हाँ, syngamy is without exception in angiosperms. जी हाँ, syngamy is without exception in angiosperms. Question 102. Which one of the following pairs of plants are not shade producers? जी हाँ, fern and funaria pairs of plants are not shade producers. जी हाँ, fern and funaria pairs of plants are not shade producers. Question 103. Angiosperms have dominated the land flora primarily because of their जी हाँ, angiosperms have dominated the land flora primarily because of their power of adaptability in diverse habitat. जी हाँ, angiosperms have dominated the land flora primarily because of their power of adaptability in diverse habitat. Question 104. Transport of food material in higher plants takes place through the transport of food material in higher plants takes place through sieve elements. The transport of food material in higher plants takes place through sieve elements. Question 105. An alga which can be employed as food for human being is. जी हाँ, an alga which can be employed as food for a human being is chlorella. जी हाँ, an alga which can be employed as food for a human being is chlorella.